Dear white people, you're doing it wrong. Yeah, that's not gonna work. Whenever you hear talk like that, it's white people telling other white people that they're being racist. Black people don't talk like that. Black people don't go, dear white people, no. It's remarkably irritating. It's like a patronizing babysitter tone. And no one is listening to their babysitter. But on Netflix, they've taken the wildly unsuccessful movie Dear White People and made it into a wildly unsuccessful show that's already generating a lot more dislikes than likes. And it appears to be written by some guy named Jack Moore, who is a white person who hates white people. And the trailer is particularly galling. And I'm not just talking about this patronizing tone that they all have. And I'm not just talking about the fact that they launched a show with their Halloween episode. What? Why don't you launch in July with your Christmas episode? Just incompetence abounds. But what really annoys me about this is the lazy thinking that goes on the left. They know this is horrible. They know it's the worst thing imaginable. But they don't know why. So check out what happens when incompetence meets arrogance.
Dear white people, here's a list of acceptable Halloween...
I don't like the way whites are portrayed in this as corny, cardigan-wearing born-agains. That is not who we are, and that is not okay. Okay, go ahead.
Acceptable Halloween costumes. Pirate, slutty nurse.
Oh, thank you. Thanks, God, for telling me what I can dress up as.
Of unacceptable costumes.
Here we go.
Me.
Whoa. Wow. You don't get to do that. You don't get to destroy my $1,500 sound system because you disapprove of a costume, especially when you can't articulate why blackface is offensive. Why is blackface offensive? Can Sarah Silverman do it as a joke? Okay. Why can't Fred Armisen? Why does he have to be Obama who is pale? He looks like Obama with food poisoning. It looks ridiculous. Why is that one thing out? It's like the Asian voice. You're not allowed to speak Chinese, but you can do every other voice. It's just a random thing they've thrown at the dartboard and said, this is incredibly offensive. And I always say when people bring it up, why? And they go, well, Jim Crow laws were based on minstrel shows. And I go, so look it up. Minstrel shows sometimes portrayed blacks as dumb klutzes. Sometimes. My research says 25% of the time. The other 75% of the time, they were just portraying a black person. The same way men back before women were allowed to act would just put on wigs and go, hello, I'm a lady. White America revered blacks back then. Yeah, I know. It was a racist time. They were also fascinated by blacks. And we were at a particularly square time in our history. So we would get on stage and go, I'm a black man. I'm exciting. I'm doing exciting things. It was maybe naive, but it was a form of reverence. And this, by the way, goes across the entire world. We've been doing blackface for a long time. It means I'm trying to look like a black guy, like Black Pete. Is that entire tradition wrong? Or what about the black and white minstrel show that played in Britain well into the 80s? Is that offensive? Viva, 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 viva Maria. You don't know. All you know is this is the worst thing in the world. And what's depressing about whites is when you shoot these accusations at their feet, they jump and they just go, ah! No one looks at that trailer and goes, wait a minute. I've seen a lot of Halloween pictures, and you seem to have amalgamated the 6 times that someone's dressed like that in the past 10 years and crunched it all into a trend, and then you're basing a show vilifying this non-existent trend. We don't do this. Yes, you may have caught some anecdotal evidence. It's not indicative of a pattern. You know what a pattern is? There's a pattern going on here, and it's you being totally incompetent and making up stupid shit you know nothing about. Hi, folks. That was a Rebel Media short. I have my own show on Rebel Media called How's It Going? You got to pay for that one. Check it out right here.